but it's still, I mean, the DLC is the head of the snake, and we are now going to begin working on the head of the snake. If they don't do anything about changing, I mean, I believe it, I'm trying to think of what state it is, but they have, I think they registered thousands, but those people are being thrown off the rolls because they have to have a color when they show up.
ID card of some kind?
Yeah, it has to be in color.
Is that Florida?
Maybe, but that's part of the HAVA, the law they passed. The law they passed, which is supposed to address voting, I mean, machine fraud and all the rest of it.
Right.
They're going by the letter of the law, and that state says you got to have a color ID. By the time you fight that in the courts, the election's over. I think of Sarasota, for example. Christine Jennings ran, I mean, she was the leading Democratic candidate there. Somehow, 18,000 votes got lost. I mean, they decided, oh, we're going to seat the guy who won, and you can fight it out in the courts, which is what she's been doing. Well, it was a 2-year term. I mean, and Sarasota, I mean, my ex-husband always says, I'm the only Democrat in Sarasota. But, I mean, this is what the DLC has to do. It's not enough to raise the money and direct the money and direct the policy. My God, they've got to help with election machine fraud, and they haven't lifted a finger. I mean, we've got a great Secretary of State here, but you know that all the ballots go through the optical scanner, and if people can hack those...
We've been talking about this for years.
We've been talking about it for 4 years.
At least 4 years.
Well, what's the DLC doing? What are they doing?
They're not doing anything.
What they do, I noticed, like Sheldon Whitehouse, from the new senator from Delaware, he's a brilliant comer. What do they do? Put an arm around him and get him in the DLC. Same thing is true with the comer in the House, Arthur Davis. I don't know what the district is in Alabama, but it's Birmingham, working class and all that. I mean, he is excellent. What did they do? Put an arm around him, and he's now in the DLC. And, I mean, that's what they do. You have a brilliance and some clout. That's what they want in there. Well, come on. They do, and they just are self-satisfied. They don't realize how furious we are.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on the corner at Selwood, the post office there. Here were 2 guys. They're for LaRue.
When was this?
This morning.
Oh, this morning?
Yeah, this morning about 10 o'clock. They had all of LaRue's stuff there, plus some pretty... And they said to me, do you have a gun? I said, gun? No, I don't have a gun. You need to think about one. And I mean, they're talking about...
Arming up.
Offing.
Offing or arming up?
They're talking about offing somebody. I don't know. Maybe it's arming up.
Maybe it's like you better get prepared because it's getting ready to hit the fan. Maybe that's what their reference was.
I mean, there's such things going on in this country.
Yeah.
It's really kind of frightening.
It is.
They're preparing for an armed insurrection in this country. They're bringing in, I think it's the 3rd Division, aren't they bringing in the cavalry from Iraq to patrol our streets? I mean, the posse comitatus forbids. We have National Guard to take care of any kind of difficulties. But
I see where the Army's...
They're putting the Army on the street, and they'll shoot to kill, as we saw in St. Paul.
Yeah.
I mean, they're using concussion bombs, hauling... I mean, this thing about prior restraint of going into a place of a publication where the independent press was putting their stuff together with the video cameras and the laptops and things like that, bursting in there without a warrant. And they said, you know, the people inside know their rights, and said, get a warrant. So they went off and got a warrant. But this is prior restraint of the media, of the press.
You bet.
They seized all of their computers. They seized all of the video cameras.
This is happening right now in America.
This is happening in St. Paul. In St. Paul, I mean, it was very obvious from all the films. And one of my friends from here was a medic in Vietnam. Mike Hasty went there as a medic. And one of my friends, I come from Minneapolis, and so with this movement, he was telling me some of the stuff that went on there.
Yeah.
I mean, people who were innocent. One guy had a medical condition, and he was jailed, and he said, "I need my meds." And they said, "You ain't gonna get them." Words to that effect, and they probably said a lot of other things. They enjoyed throwing people down on their face.
Dumping medicine bags out. These medics, I heard their bags were dumped out and all their supplies just kicked around on the sidewalk.
They were. But this guy, he began to. They put a hood around him.
No kidding.
He was 12 hours in the jail. They put a hood around him. He vomited, and he was with vomit in his face for 12 hours.
This guy was at the RNC protest, and they hooded him.
Rendition. The guy pukes, and he's got that in his face.
Oh.
And of course, they dropped all the charges.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
The idea is to terrify anybody from contesting whatever they're going to do.
It's terrible.
This is not America.
Not our America.
No.
Nope.
The thing, they raided a house of, I think they were in a they were in a house. They didn't have any John in there. I think they hit 5 houses on the St. Paul side and 4 on the Minneapolis side. This is before the convention started, I think.
Right.
People were having supper. I think they were like 25 and they were watching a video. The cops came in there. Everybody on the floor!
Kids were in the house too, with family. I think there were.
And everybody got on the floor. They began to kick them. They handcuffed them. Then they, hauled them off. They didn't have a warrant.
The toilet that wasn't working and they were using a bucket.
They were using a bucket, and the St. Paul Pioneer Press said they were planning to do urine bombs because here was this bucket of urine, and what else would you be doing? I mean, they never thought there's no indoor plumbing that works.
Right.
And they listed all of the terrible things, like the cameras. The Minneapolis Star-Tribune. I'll say this for my hometown's paper. They had probably the most honest reporting of what was going on there. The St. Paul Pioneer Press, all for the cops. So they are suing, of course.
I think there'll be a lot of lawsuits coming out of this.
Yeah.
And they'll just pay them off and continue to threaten people, and continue to suppress them, and then deal with the lawsuit on the back end.
Well, if a city such as Portland here had to pay off over $2 million on a demonstration, I did a white paper for Bill Siemens on the Pioneer Press.
Yes, the PPRC group.
PPRC. It was very costly. And I'll say for Lou Marbet, he's supposed to get a share of that. He decided, I'm not taking that. This is principle.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Well, Barbara, I need to run along, but thanks a lot. You've really shared a lot of good stuff, good information that a lot of people need to hear, and you've put it in a perspective.
My pleasure.
Well,
the thing is, I like to think of Nathan Hale. He said, "I regret I have but one life to give for my country, one life to lose for my country," and that's how I feel.
Yeah.
For the Constitution, the people don't defend the Constitution. They're more upset about this banking thing than they are the Constitution, and they don't realize. What do you mean I'm arrested? I have my rights and this and that. They don't. Hey, are you kidding? You don't have any anymore.
Right. Sad.
So,
well, we're out here, folks, dedicated and trying to make change.
Yeah, we are.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Joe.
Thanks for doing what you do and going back to the White House or the Capitol there to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was. We did 30 reps from noon until 5 with impeachment stuff.
Did you pay your own way to go back there?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
It cost $1,000, but I can't afford it. But I can't afford nothing.
Beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Beautiful setup.
Okay.
Beautiful body, beautiful.
Got to go back to work.
Oh, gee.
Nice for you to come down here?
You too, man.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Man.
Yep.
Yeah.